You need to be focused on gut health. Now, during today's thoughts, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm sharing with you what I did to heal my gut after a health crash 20 years ago. And a lot of the things we're talking about today, I don't see in gut healing protocols that people are selling because they can't sell you anything to do this. You have to take that control and that power back when it comes to your gut. So let's get going on how to heal your gut naturally. Number one, you have vitamin D receptors in your gut. Vitamin D receptors. You need strong levels of vitamin D because when you have strong levels of vitamin D, the vitamin D connects with the vitamin D receptors, right, in your gut, and that seals your gut. Vitamin D. Now, and this is where I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing with you what I did. Oh, Sarah, good morning. Sarah, I think you've been where I'm at right now. Didn't you come down to the Marina Peninsula when you were here in Morro Bay, the one that has the wooden walk with all the birds? I think you've been here. You'll recognize it, Sarah. Okay, so you have those vitamin D receptors in your gut. Now, as humans, we are amazing. We can do so many amazing things, so many ideas, so creative. We have not figured out how to bottle real sunshine and put it in a bottle. But yes, Sarah, that's where I'm at. Good morning. Good morning. So we haven't put sunshine in a bottle. We think we have, but it's a lie because it's not the same as sunshine. So vitamin D. Now, remember, I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I do. I don't take synthetic vitamin D because when you do, it can put your stored vitamin D higher than your active vitamin D. And that's when an onslaught of problems happen. And low vitamin D, if your vitamin D is low, is a sign of sunshine deficiency and magnesium deficiency. And vitamin D, you need that magnesium to convert your vitamin D from stored vitamin D to active vitamin D. So think back to a time you were out in the sunshine and you weren't burning because we don't want to burn in the sun. That causes damage. We don't want to do that. You weren't burning, but you could feel that tingle under your skin, and you feel that tingle. That's vitamin D converting stored vitamin D to active vitamin D. Oh, powerful stuff. And now I have to go back a little bit. If I were taking that accountability, remember, creating health is all about accountability. If I were taking that accountability and getting my sunshine and my magnesium levels were up between 6.3 and 7.4, if my magnesium were up, my red blood cell, you need to know your magnesium red blood cell because remember why we're even doing these early morning walks? We're doing them to get prepped for August for our 30-day challenge. Now, I'm still soaking in magnesium right now, but August, I am going to pour it on because I want to go into the winter strong. And typically during the winter, unless you live somewhere really special, you get less sun. And so we need to go into the winter strong with our vitamin D and with our magnesium levels because those two things do so many things. One of the most important things that it does is it keeps our inflammation levels low. Vitamin D modulates, regulates inflammation. And if you don't have strong vitamin D, you can't modulate or regulate your inflammation. And if you have high inflammation, well, that's the root of disease. Like any disease is connected to high inflammation. You don't feel good with high inflammation. You have aches and pains with high inflammation, and you can't fight viruses with high inflammation. I want to go into the fall being able to fight viruses. And so that bottled vitamin D cannot do that for you. You've got to get sunshine in. Now, some people will say, Kristen, like right now, I don't know if you can see, look, there. Can you see that sky? We have marine layer and I can't even see the sun. I should be able to see it rising. I can't even see it. But the photoreceptors in my eyes are still pulling in 80% of the morning rays. Now, today, when the sun burns off the marine layer at noon, I will go out when the UV index is high. I will go out and I'll have as much of my body exposed as is appropriate. And I will pull in the rays of the middle of the day from the sun. And then I'll go out tonight. I usually go to the elfin forest and I will walk and I will pull the rays from the nighttime sun as the sun sets, because all of those rays have different wavelengths and different benefits. And I want a strong, healthy gut. Everything is connected to a strong, healthy gut, and vitamin D does that. If you have low vitamin D, you have a magnesium deficiency and you have a sunshine deficiency. Now, if your vitamin D is super low, like incredibly low, there would be some times for me, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm not prescribing, I'm not diagnosing. For me, if my vitamin D stored and active, so make sure you know your blood work, if that were really low, there would be an appropriate time to boost my levels with the bottle of vitamin D. Oh, here's one of my favorite spots. I'll turn this way. See that tree? And we've got the marina, we've got the bay behind us, and right behind that sandbar is the ocean. This is an Audubon, like top of birding spot. Like right now, I can see about 6 great blue herons. It's a beautiful spot. And so that vitamin D, the bottle can only do so much. And so many times it can actually put your stored higher than your active. So if you're taking synthetic vitamin D, personally, for me, I would want to know where my numbers are so that I don't create imbalance with a synthetic nutrient. Now, think about synthetic nutrients. Cold cereal. Go to a box of cold cereal, and there's 100% of your daily this and 100% of your daily that. So, technically, you should be able to eat cold cereal and get a load of nutrition. And common sense tells us cold cereal is not going to give us the nutrition that we need. They're synthetic vitamins. But here's what we do: we walk into a health food store and we pay top money for those same synthetic vitamins because it makes us feel safe that we're getting our nutrition from a substandard diet. Nutrition comes from the food we chew. So, making that switch for me took me from sick and tired to healthy and vibrant. And that vitamin D helps regulate inflammation. We need a good, strong vitamin D, and we get that from sunshine. And first, we get magnesium, because magnesium converts the vitamin D from stored to active. And then we focus on that sunshine. And so when you put those two things into place, The vitamin D. Hello, Hector. Welcome to you from YouTube. So nice to have you here. So when we get those in place, the vitamin D receptors in our gut, it connects, and that's what heals and seals the gut. And when you have strong gut function, everything gets better. So, just like we focus on mitochondria function, what are we doing to focus on mitochondria function? Focus on gut function also instead of chasing symptoms. Chasing symptoms means you're focused on thyroid or Hashimoto's or any autoimmune thing. Focus on your foundation. That's what I did to pull my health back and get off of seizure medication and all of those types of things. So focusing on your foundation, and vitamin D is foundational. It regulates your immune system. And we have those receptors in our eyes that connect with our brain. So even though right now I am not getting tons, it doesn't look like I'm getting sunshine in, I'm still getting 80% of those. Oh, there was a bunch of birds right there. This is one of those places I feel like I need to be quiet as I walk. It's just really beautiful. Now, the other thing about gut function, and this is crucial. So, right now, we're having a magnesium sale, 12 days in July. It's about 25% off. Our shipping costs on the magnesium we just are bringing in right now went through the roof, like through the roof. And so our cost has to go up. And so we're phasing out the 64-ounce bottle. It has a seam on it. We can't find a replacement for it that fits what we need in that bottle. So we're going to a 32-ounce bottle. I had, when we started the sale, I had about 1,600 64-ounce bottles. Right now they're on sale for 25% off. 25% off. I'm going to sing it from the rooftops because my goal is no one emails me after the sale and says, I didn't hear about the sale. Because our next big sale that will happen in November, the prices will be higher. It'll still be a great sale, but the prices will be higher. So please, livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. We're going to be doing a magnesium 30-day challenge in August. We need to get our magnesium numbers up. You need to test your red blood cell numbers. And when that magnesium is up, a 30-day challenge to me is more than just soaking in magnesium. And that 30-day challenge every single day, and this year I've got some fun things planned. I'm going to do one thing that I do personally that I don't think I've ever talked about on that 30-day challenge. So I'm really excited about that. But as we soak in magnesium, it's not just the physical act of soaking in magnesium. It's starting to get hot. It's not just the physical act of soaking in magnesium. We are creating a magnesium mindset. Because when you have magnesium, and I promise this goes hand in hand with vitamin D and the receptors in your gut. When you have magnesium, you are able to change your reactions. And when you change your reactions to things, your cortisol level stays down. And if you've ever had the thought, I'm doing so many things to get healthy and nothing's changing, your cortisol is involved. You cannot create a healthy body if you're a reactionary person. I'm a recovered rage gauge. I used to go from 0 to 10 in 1 second. And I didn't understand the triggers, and I didn't have tools. Good morning for those hopping on. I didn't have those tools. So that magnesium soaking is about creating a magnesium mindset and learning how to come to create peace on the inside, because when you react, your cortisol goes up, your magnesium goes out, the vitamin D receptors in your gut become less receptive. Cortisol breaks down everything. It breaks down everything. So now you might have a different, there's two different ways that cortisol can affect us. Mine was very external. Well, I'm kind of like that. If I've had a bad day, you know. If I've had a happy day, you know. If I've had a sad day, you know. Open book. Some people, when they're frustrated, it's internal and nobody else realizes what's going on around them. That's a cortisol spike also. So sometimes people will think, well, I don't have that external rage. You don't have to. Do you have that turmoil on the inside? That's still a cortisol spike. In fact, the internal shame is actually a stronger cortisol spike than an external sometimes, most of the time, not always. That's another topic to get on. So, as we're doing that 30-day challenge in August together, I hope you'll join me. As we're doing that, we are going to practice and focus on our reactions and our triggers. Because when we do that, we have control of our reactions. There's not a lot in this life that we have absolute control over. We do of our reactions. We have control over that. And so as we learn to balance those triggers and not have the reaction. Now, I don't mean, oh gosh, getting some mosquitoes. I don't mean to shove the reaction down. Not at all. That is damaging. I'm meaning truly that you filter it and see it a different way. When you practice that muscle, it's a great big muscle. And when you practice that during your 30-day challenge, that helps to heal and seal the gut because you're reducing your cortisol spikes. And here's the thing about that dang cortisol. So let's say, okay, I'm going to tell you one of mine. In fact, let's do this. Post, because if I'm going to tell you mine, you have to tell me one of yours. So post below, share with me a silly thing that spikes your cortisol. So for example, the toilet paper roll, does it hang from the front or the back? In my world, it hangs from the back. In my husband's world, it hangs from the front. And just those minor irritations. Oh, here's another one of mine. Okay, I want to know yours. Come on, if I'm sharing mine, you have to share yours. Another one of mine is, oh, okay, I still have to work on this one because I feel myself kind of heightening, is a wet rag at the bottom of a clean sink. That's gross. Who wants to stick their hand on a wet rag at the bottom of a sink? You wring it out and you hang it so it can dry, right? I think those are just two little things that I had to learn how to let those triggers go, because your body doesn't go, oh, that's a big thing, that's a little thing. It just sees stress, cortisol, period. Either or. You're either having a cortisol spike or you're not. So the little things can be as draining as the big things. And so learning how to filter those differently. Like my husband still, when he puts the toilet paper on, he puts it toward the front. When I put it on, I put it toward the back. Okay, let's see. Oh, have we got some people? Okay. Oh, leaving an open drawer. Okay. Laundry thrown on the floor next to the hamper. I love it. Leaving an empty box in the cupboard. Oh, we have similar things. Filling the dishwasher and not running it. Here's another one of mine. Leaving the toilet seat up before you go to bed. if someone has to wake up in the middle of the night, they need to be able to determine. Anyway, little things like that, you know, and those minor irritations, our body doesn't look at it as a minor irritation. It just sees cortisol spike, cortisol spike. And so that 30-day challenge is about learning how to reframe those cortisol spikes, because when your cortisol spikes, you're decreasing gut function. You're decreasing your body's ability to attach to vitamin D and heal and seal your gut. And I don't care what program you do. I don't care what expensive system you bought. If you don't get on top of that, it's not going to happen. So, for example, a reframe difference. Oh my gosh, it's getting hot. Okay, hold on just a sec here. Whew. I can do this one-handed, right? So, for example, when I go in and my husband has put the toilet paper the way his world thinks it should be. Okay, hold on. Sorry about this. I'm tying. Okay, whoops. Whew. Thank you for your patience. So when he puts the toilet paper roll on, my thought is, oh, it's his turn. My turn's next. And so, oh, Autumn, I live in Morro Bay, California, and our backyard is a state park. It's glorious and it is beautiful. And right now I'm at the Marina Peninsula, and it's an Audubon Society's top birding site. So there's over 200 species of birds. And as that sun was coming up this morning, they were all singing to me. It was glorious. Oh, dirty tools, Hector. I love it. Magnesium mindset is legit. And here's the thing, and Leanne's a member of Core 7, and we talk about mindset tools a lot. Oh, I'm so glad. I tried to pick places that will, I don't know, that you'll just love seeing. And since today's a holiday and we're a tourist town, and we have lots of tourists coming, the ocean is going to be really packed today. And this is more off the beaten path. And so I thought, oh, it'll be quieter and they can hear the birds. So that's my goal. So and now I want you, okay, because we've talked about micro actions, right? Scrolling social media, learning about health, researching about health. You can think you're doing a lot to get healthy when in actuality, you've taken no action whatsoever. So I always ask you to take micro actions. Like I'll say, share with me one of your things. And so many of you have. Now I'm going to give you another opportunity to take micro action. How can you reframe that frustration so that you don't have that irritation or frustration? So for me, I look at the toilet paper roll and I think, ooh, it's my turn next time. I'll turn it my way, the way that I like it. Reframing, changing your oh gosh, oh mosquito. Reframing and changing your thoughts, because the thought is what spikes cortisol, that drops your magnesium, that makes it that your gut cannot connect to the vitamin D receptor, or the vitamin D in your gut cannot connect, and you can't heal and seal your gut. Do you see what irritation? Irritation walks you away from health. And it is a muscle. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. I'm on the journey. I'm walking it right along with you. Okay, Sarah says, when one side of the sink has dirty dishes and they have to put their dirty dishes on the clean side. Got it. Face and replace. I love that. So I want you to reframe an irritation. So take a minute and think, what's an irritation and how can I reframe my thoughts so that the next time that irritation happens, It's not spiking cortisol, losing magnesium, walking me away from my gut, absorbing the vitamin D and sealing and walking me toward health. What's that irritation and how can you reframe it? Reframing is powerful. Now, a lot of times, this is what I see people do. They say they're not frustrated about it anymore once they understand the importance of irritations and taking more accountability for them, but they just shove it down. No, 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 no. That doesn't get you healthy. Shoving it down does not get you healthy. So I would love to have you share with me a reframe that you're creating, because as you change your thought, you will change your irritations. Because face it, it is not written anywhere that my way is right on the toilet paper, that the rag, no one's going to die from the rag being at the bottom of the sink. It's not written anywhere, anywhere. So changing those reframes is really important. And is what I'd like you to do. Another micro action, we have a texting list, and I'm sharing loads of magnesium every Friday. If you will text 435 213 9048, and if you text Good Life, one word or two, doesn't matter. Shelly's got it set up that either way it will work. No exclamation points. If you text Good Life to that number, on Friday, we send out the people who we're sharing magnesium with. So we'd love to have you be a part of that list. Facebook doesn't like sharing like that. And so we've set it up in a way that I can still comply. And I'm going to turn around right here. Maybe you can see we've got some brown pelicans and some blue herons behind me. So those irritations are walking you away from healing and sealing your gut. And Leanne's already got one. Boom. Leanne says the kitchen may not be clean the way I would do it. However, it's so much cleaner than what it was. Do you see the difference? Do you see the reframe? Now, Leanne, when you say that, do you experience a difference on the inside? I love that. Neighbor's dog barking incessantly. Maybe reframe and have compassion. Oh, for their dog being locked up. Yeah, I might make a lot of noise too if I was locked up and not taken out regularly. So, do you see how that reframe changes the irritation level? And so, I want to trace that again. Magnesium and vitamin D from the sun, crucial to creating strong vitamin D levels. Magnesium converts stored vitamin D to active vitamin D. And when you get vitamin D in your body from the sun, it goes to your gut, you have vitamin D receptors. Those vitamin D receptors seal your gut. Seal your gut. So magnesium and vitamin D are crucial to sealing your gut. Mandatory for sealing your gut. When we have cortisol or irritation or stress, that walks us away, because that cortisol takes away from how much vitamin D our gut can heal and seal. And a strong gut is everything. And it's not that one right there, that reframing. I don't think, well, I haven't ever stopped it. That's something that I'm learning and building my muscle all of the time. Okay, so Sarah says, my husband says, oh, Richard. Okay, so Richard says that Sarah's reframe should be at least they are putting their dishes in the sink. Oh, he is the one that does it. So at least he's putting him in the sink. Okay, so Sarah, sometimes on my reframes, I play this little game and I do worst case scenario. And so on that reframe, I think, well, they could put it on the floor and then I step in food and my little puppy licks up all that food and then gets really sick because he's got some gut issues. Who better to hang out with than me as a puppy? We're working on them and they're getting better. So that is a beautiful way to create that reframe because vitamin D and magnesium are mandatory for optimal gut health. You have to be able to seal the gut. When the gut is sealed, everything gets better. Everything gets better. And remember, that vitamin D is a regulator of inflammation. So if you wake up in the morning and you're sore, it could be a vitamin D level. Now, there are other things. So, for example, those of you going into perimenopause and menopause and your estrogen levels changing, the cortisol hormones, estrogen, progesterone, they also manage inflammation. So, I'm not saying it's only vitamin D. That's just the focus that I'm focused on today is hopefully you're walking away recognizing the importance of sunshine and health and reframing and magnesium. And in August, we will be doing that magnesium 30-day challenge. Grab your magnesium now. Livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. Now, because it's a holiday and orders have been like about, I think about 12-ish times what they are. Typically, orders leave our warehouse within 24 hours. And a lot of times, the same day it comes in, that order's packed up and sent off. Team is about 3 days getting those orders out. So they will take longer to get to you because of the holiday and because of the sale. So we've even got a little banner on the website to remind you. And if you live on the East Coast, it's going to take even longer than normal because your ship time. Team is just working beautifully and efficiently to get those out to you as fast as possible. Okay, Leanne says, because of my crazy schedule with moving, I'm not able to be outside as much as I would like. Oh, okay, Leanne, I was going to talk about this. I'm so glad you brought this up and reminded me. If I keep my Spurdy lamp on in the room, would that be beneficial? Absolutely, yes. So I have a Spurdy also because I want a backup. It's not the same as sunshine, but it is so beneficial. A Spurdy lamp. You do have to be careful with them. You can get addicted to them, and we don't want to do damage to our skin. And right now, they are really hard to get your hands on, but a Spurdy lamp. Oh, your order came fast. Yay. Team is just their efficiency. They're constantly focused on efficiency. And sometimes it doesn't come that fast, but I'm so glad that it did. Order shipped in 2 hours before the holiday. Typically, that's their mojo. Like that order comes in, especially if it comes in before 1 o'clock. It's packed and ready to go. But right now, it's about 3 days because of we also had another issue with one of our software pieces that glitched out. So it's about three to 4 days before it's leaving our warehouse right now. But those prices you won't I don't think you'll see again at next Black Friday. I'm 99% confident that the prices that you're seeing right now you won't see again. So again, I'm bringing that up. I'm singing it from the rooftops because I don't want anyone to email me. I usually get around 100 emails. Kristen, I didn't know about the sale. And I'm singing it from the rooftops and the sale is lasting for 12 days. We've never run our July sale that long. 12 days. And so plenty of time and to get a paycheck in there and to be able to stock up on some magnesium. Now, let's go back. One thing I want to finish up on is that synthetic nutrition. In that there is a downside when we break natural law, right? There's a downside. So for example, ascorbic acid, vitamin C. We know it drops your ability to store iron. Synthetic B vitamins are one of the reasons we've got such methylation issues is synthetic vitamin Bs. So we know that there is a downside to man-made synthetic vitamins. So let's look at powdered magnesium. It makes food travel through your body faster, meaning your body cannot uptake nutrients from food. If you're like me and you look at food as medicine, even as imperfect as it is, food is medicine. I don't want it traveling through my digestion faster. I want it going the pace it needs to go. I also don't want, because that synthetic vitamin D decreases peristaltic action because your body goes, oh, it's moving on its own. I don't need to use that muscle of peristaltic action. And it'll be interesting to see if there's other downsides that start showing with vitamin D. I cannot tell you hundreds, maybe even thousands. I should have kept better track of people that when they go off of synthetic magnesium, that their digestion improves. You just you can't break natural law and expect to have the same benefit that that nutrition would give you in nature. So that's why I soak in magnesium. And in August, we're doing the 30-day challenge. So I'm going to get off this bench and I'm going to officially start my walk. I do about 6 to 8 miles in the morning. I want to know, what was the most helpful thing for you today? What did you connect to? What was helpful for you? Because your questions and your insights help me determine what we're going to talk about next. Like, I got the rest of this week's topics because we're doing this walk with me every single day in July. I might miss a few, and if I don't show up, no worries. I'm with my husband or my puppy. They needed me. Um, my goal is to do every day. And so I've taken the next couple of days, I've taken it, and that's what I've gotten my topics on to hang out with you. So I would love to know, what is the most important takeaway that you're taking away from today? I know a lot of people, Beth made a comment. Um, a couple people left comments about, oh, healing and sealing the gut. I want to be on top of that one. And so I know that this is a topic that a lot of you are super interested in. And understand, sometimes people get frustrated because creating health is about higher responsibility. And if you're overwhelmed right now, and then I say to you, there is no magic bullet, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's something that you need to focus on and build your muscle. Sometimes that can be overwhelming. Overwhelm is your subconscious keeping you the same, keeping you stuck. Your subconscious wants you the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And I want to be better, don't you? I want, when you meet me in person, because that's my goal with every person online as we meet in real life. When you meet me, I want to be a better version of me than I was the last time that you met me. Oh, vitamin D and sealing the gut. Love it. Oh, it's not. It is not. Oh, now, Sandra, this is where I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not a doctor. I'm sharing with you my journey and what I did. And so you need to do your research and feel comfortable with where you're at. Okay. Really important that we keep that balance. Um, oh, the gut and vitamin D connection. Oh, Sherry, reframe your thoughts. I love that. And with those beautiful, glorious insights, I will say goodbye. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. And remember, if you're not on the texting list, text 435-213-9048. Text Good Life. That'll put you on the list. And Friday, we'll be sharing who we're sharing magnesium with. Have the best day. Bye bye.